What's going on, everybody? This is Lemon Drop 14E back with more Tony Stewart Sprint Car Racing Career Mode, and we are going to Woodley, race 2 of 22 in the second season, first one in 305s. Whew. Okay, so as you can see, I upgraded a couple of parts and I went ahead and repaired everything because I feel like it's silly not to. Especially the tires. I burned those off last race. So, we are ready to go. FYI, if you hear kids in the background, that's just part of being a dad. Anywho, now that that's out of the way, let's get to the track. Alright, we are now here at the track in the garage. Looks like they want us to get a 1308. So I know we have been here a handful of times in the TQ midgets. Wow, it seems like I have rocks in the back. This thing does not want to get going very quickly. But, I know like I said, I've been here in the TQ midgets a bunch of times. Honestly, feels like the TQs go faster just because I'm in a low budget car, but I'm pretty sure the handling and everything is just going to be the same. Or I'm sorry, the line rather, not necessarily the handling. But goodness me, it does feel like this car weighs a ton. What is that about? I mean, obviously it weighs a ton, but it feels like it's just got no power at all. Wow, and snappy loose too. Alright, well it's going to take some time to get used to this garbage. Yo! Alright. I'm going to turn some more laps and try not to do that anymore. Okay, bye. Okay, so we've had very, very little luck with practice. So I'm actually going to try, and do this here. Is there any way to change the gears? Oh gosh, I don't know. Because I'm like not even getting halfway up my RPMs. So, I don't know. What, the rear end ratio? Maybe that's it? What happens if I turn this down a few clicks? Don't know. Let's find out. Save it. Yes, please. So, I turned down the rear end ratio a few clicks. Let's just see what that does. Okay, so I should have done the other, because holy lord, I'm just gonna get ran over here. Okay, so a lower ratio would be good for a gigantic track where you want to have crazy high-end speed. So let's crank this back up. It was at 5.5, I think. So let's do the opposite. Let's go to 6. 6.5. We'll see what that does. We're going to do some experimenting today. Because normally I don't deal with that stuff. Okay, so it's not so sluggish off the get. Okay, and it looks as if I am going to be maxing out the RPMs. Kids are yelling, that's fun. So let's just see what this first lap is with my new higher RPMs. Obviously, I'm not getting an ideal line here because there's people kind of in my line earlier, so this one will be the first true test with the higher RPMs. I'm really kind of messing up my line though, so this isn't ideal, but I feel like we're flirting with the goal time and we're really kind of being sloppy. If I could stiffen up my line a little bit, there we go. See how this looks. Yeah, there we go, way faster. So, yeah, there we go. That could be something to look at. I don't know what my oil temperature is going to be doing the rest of the race. Let's just see if I let this thing unwind. Kind of run a higher line. I want to see what my RPMs do. Because I might go ahead and knock that a couple of ticks up a little bit more. In fact, I'm going to. So there we go. I did get the goal. I'm still going to change the setup a little bit. Whoopsies. Same thing. Instead of going up one full tick, I'm going to go half a tick. Why not? Yes, please keep the setup. Let's do the same thing for the custom qualifying. Is it going to be? Yeah, so I don't want that. For the qualifying, let's do the same thing. Let's go 6.5. Perfect. So there we go. Let's move on to the qualifying and see what's the pole position. About a second and a tenth faster. That's less than ideal. Okay, so we are on the custom qualifying setup. So ideally, we'll be running a little bit higher RPMs and be able to keep the car wound up a little bit more. That's the goal, at least. As long as I can hold my good line. Which I'm not sure what to do about that dog leg as far as a good line goes. Feels like there's no real smooth way to get through it. But 1 and 2 there certainly is. Looks like I just smoked the goal time, so that's awesome. Does not mean it's the fastest time, but it is faster than the goal. I think yeah, second lap was faster, so cool. 19th, not so cool, but is not the worst. So yeah, let's see who got the pole here. Keith Torres, apparently. Now I was gonna look here. Is Smoke not in this series? He does not appear to be. Weird. So, okay, now we do want to have this race set up. I'm not sure what all changes. Maybe there's not anything that changes, honestly. But it's just, if you want to be super technical, you can adjust per. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how we do, though. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to crank it way down, trying to avoid some heavier contact. So the theory of this season in the 305s is trying to get through each race without breaking any hearts and breaking any parts, because this is just like a get my feet wet season in this car, because I am focusing on the TQ Midget this year to win that championship. And when that championship has been won, honestly, I'm probably going to drop out of that series and move up full-time to this one. When I say full-time, I just mean all of my efforts and money will be focused on this one. But once I reach the full-blown 410 sprints, I secretly want to do a thing where I run all 3 series if you can, and I want to win all 3 championships the same year. That will be total domination of the game and the series, and I feel like at that point I can say I have beat the game. Even though I may still want to continue playing afterwards because it's still fun. But, alright, so I'm pretty happy with that finish, actually. It seems like, as usual, there's like a fast 3 or 4 that's just, hands down, so much more competitive. And there's like a back 3 or 4. I feel like I'm on the slower end, but I'm right in the middle of those. So, I'm pretty okay with that, actually. Yeah, we got beat by 5 seconds almost by first place, so yikes. We were in the 3rd heat, so yeah. So we did make it straight to the A main. We're starting 15th. We're trying to finish in the top 20. So we'll see. I think we'll be able to do that fairly easily. But like I said, we just have to be on our toes here to make sure we don't have any stupid mistakes, don't have any heavy damage or anything like that. I'm going to try and take as many spots as I can off the beginning here. Try to hold it straight. It's kind of dirty, but it happens. Gonna work that outside. Got it to work, actually. That was pretty smooth. Got into his right rear just a touch, but I'm not too worried about it if you guys aren't. That slid up pretty hard on me. Really not trying to run the high side, but I feel like I'm a little wild out of those corners, so it wasn't really great to set up to go low. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. When you come out of a corner and you just pretty much take the entire straightaway to get it straightened up, by the time you're at the corner, you're pretty much okay with whatever line you can just run without losing it. So I feel like that's the case there, or was the case there. So I am curious. Hopefully we can get a top 10. Our first 305 race, I feel like we may have been quick enough to, if we had enough laps. We were slow. Door slam. We were slowly catching a lot of cars, but I made a mistake at the very last there and lost a spot when I really didn't need to do that. So I feel like we may have a top 10 car, honestly, which would be pretty good, seeing as how this is a first-year team in this series. But hopefully we can pull off consistent top 10s. And in the showcase events, if we can, make the cut for the sprint car, the 410 sponsors, that'd be pretty cool. That would set us up nicely for next year. And hopefully we can just run the same courses we did in the TQs last year, where we slowly built our way up and we were competitive by the end of the year. Because in the TQ midgets, I don't know if I'm going to be putting very much money into them this year, just because we are competitive already. So if I can win the championship without putting more money into new parts, I think I'm going to try and do that. That way at the end of the year, maybe I'll have a bit of a surplus. So next year we can come out with a bang on the 305s. But for now, I've just got to focus on doing the best I can with the equipment in this series. Which honestly, top 10s would not be so bad. I had a pause in that straightaway. I don't know if I'll be able to edit it out so you don't notice it. But that couldn't have came at a worse time. That happens sometimes. You ever do that in a racing game where you have to pause at like an inopportune time, and then when you unpause, you've got a totally boogered up line and everything's awful, and then you cry a little. Just me? Alright, cool. So we did lose 10th place to Mr. Rodriguez, but I think we can probably get it back from him. Because we've been hanging with these, I don't know, top 10 cars pretty well. I think getting through traffic could be a bit of a hurdle for us. Since, and trying to be snappy looser around the bottom. It's less than ideal. Rogers, he kind of moved out of the way for me. That's pretty swell. Good move by that fellow. I'm losing 10th here pretty quickly, though. So, like right there, Smith, kind of running the line I want to run, but also, eeks, don't want to spin anyone out. But yeah, whenever, to me, if you're in 22nd and you're getting lapped by like 10th place, I feel like you're probably not obligated to just move straight out of the way like you would be the leader. So, I'm not faulting this guy for that, but also I would like him to move. Armstrong sliding down low. Oh, I got out of the gas so hard there because I was gonna really mess up everything. So these cars that are whizzing past me are not for position, so that's pretty sick. We've only got one lap to go because we are now a lap down, so this is the last lap. Hopefully we can hold off 12th place. Not sure who that is. Maybe it's this pink car. No, they came on way too fast. But that'll be the race. So 11th place, not bad. Would have liked to see the top 10, but also I'm not, crying over it. Alright, let's move on here. Yes, final results of Woodley. 11th place. Again, I feel like if I had a little bit more motor behind me, it'd be easier. Because, whenever you're running the higher RPMs, then you're not going to be reaching the higher top end speed. But if I had a little bit more motor, maybe I could get those RPMs without having to gear it down so much. Or gear it up, whichever way it is. But either way, that's some fine-tuning stuff that really doesn't matter at this point. But we did get $23 worth of merch. Alright. I'm liking it. Almost 5,500, not bad for 11th place. Let's get back to the garage and see the damage. Alrighty, so we gained a bunch of fans, almost 150. 63.48 as far as money goes. And again, I think we need to invest in some better tires at some point, but I keep burning those things off pretty hard, even though I'm considered moderate driving. But I'm not sure where we're going next. We are going back to the TQ midgets. Okay, back at Woodley. So we'll be able to see pretty good comparison here, side to side. Hey, wait a minute. Do I have separate money for each series? Is that what's happening here? Surely it's not. I don't know. Is that a thing? Because I feel like I just had $6,000, not $12,000. If that's the case, then we're going to max out this car as soon as we can. But I don't know if that's actually how it works. But either way, we'll get into that next episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe. It would mean a whole lot to me. See you next time. Bye.